All right, I'll call this evening's meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals to order. Thursday, today's July 24th. It's 7:05 PM. And looking at our agenda, really the only thing on it is case number 910, 23 Snow Road, which is a continuation. So at this point, invite the applicant to come join us and start with whether or not the applicant has anything. Oh, this is a hybrid meeting, so we should make sure that Mr. Hill, who's with us, can be heard.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Excellent. Yes, we can. All right. All right. So to the
Where are you, Dan? Looks like you're in the ocean.
I'm on my deck.
Oh, nice,
Nice place to be, Dan.
nice.
It is.
I'm a little jealous.
welcome. Anything new to share with us?
Yes. So, a couple of things. We went out with Jeff last week, confirmed the soils on site for the drainage, and we dug about 5 holes out there. No surprises. We were confident with the soils because all the soil maps had it listed as being sand and gravel. We confirmed that. We did 2 holes down in the detention basin area, and then we did another, was it 3 or 4 holes in areas because we're breaking up the drainage. So we'll have the detention basin, and then with the buildings, we'll be recharging those directly. So in the areas where the subsurface drainage would be, where we're gonna infiltrate the roof runoff for the buildings, we confirmed the soils in those, all sand and gravel. So no signs of groundwater, so the soils were what we thought they were ideal. So that was one good thing, check that off the list. We also had reviewed the intersection for Snow Road, as we had talked about, adding the additional lane, but then realigning it so that we can be closer to 90 degrees, so you have better visibility looking both east and west. We did meet with the Housing Authority with the new layout, because with the rotation of Snow Road, it would require more disturbance on their property. We reviewed that with them, gave them the plans there in favor, so they're willing to work with us on that and grant us an easement associated with that. So that was all good. In addition, we also reached out to the DPW director to discuss the process where ultimately the realignment of Snow Road, the town is going to need to accept that in some way, shape, or form. So we discussed with the DPW director the process for bringing the town and having them ultimately accept the new alignment of Snow Road. And he discussed processes that they've had in the past with other projects, whether it be takings, whether it's eminent domain, or it was granted to the town for other projects that they've had where they've done sidewalk takings, et cetera. So that was a good conversation. So we're looking to move. Ideally, what we would like to do is get your blessing, and we have plans that we had sent to Jeff to review based off of our last conversation with slopes and alignment. If we can get your blessing on that, we would like to move forward with coordinating with the DPW director to get an application into DOT, because ultimately we're all talking amongst each other about having what is the proper safe alignment for visibility, et cetera, but DOT needs to be brought into the loop on that, because ultimately we're coming into their right of way, and they're going to be a key part of that. So we would like to at least get your blessing saying, yes, this looks good. We've discussed it with Jeff, try to get involved with DOT and move that process forward as soon as possible. And then talk about with whether it's through the town manager and the DPW about the process for getting the realignment, as I spoke, getting that accepted by the town. So we know that that's kind of the big topic, and so we're looking to move that process forward as quickly and smoothly as we can.
We didn't know if it was appropriate that, or if it was, if your board can sponsor an article with the town meeting to accept the land from the housing authority to actually make it happen. Is that something that,
It's kind of interesting. I didn't, but yeah, I mean, if the housing, does the housing authority need to, so it would be a town meeting act to accept land from the housing authority?
that's what we believe? And,
Yeah.
and the housing, and according to our research, the housing authority owns it, but they're telling us that the state, which is the same agency working with the 40B, and did you send it over to the
Yeah.
state? Yeah, we sent it over to the state, that Rieko, the person we work with, and so we've sent that over to them for their approval also, so, it looks like they can give us permission, but then they're telling us we need the state, and we, yeah.
So we certainly have, so like, with the subdivisions under 40B, we've sponsored the, town meeting, the road acceptance at town meeting, that sort of thing. So I certainly, I don't see any reason why we couldn't. I'm sure Dan will correct me if there's some glaring reason why we can't. But obviously, it's a little bit down the line.
Yeah, but we want to talk about it.
But
Right.
I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. I think if we get to that point, there would be some discussions with the town administrator and basically people in this building about the best way to proceed with something like that. But
I don't know if it made a difference whether you were elected or appointed. Does that make a difference? for
not that I know of. Like I said, we've for subdivision road acceptance, we've been involved with those town meeting articles. So I don't know. I don't know of any reason why we couldn't or wouldn't.
I don't see why they couldn't do it themselves.
That too.
Any developer, when they're giving up the road, they put the article in.
You're right, right.
Right.
And we just
get 10
just
signatures.
speak and support it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's where we're saying.
We did do that in Grafton, but I can tell you, every other town, the planning board sponsors the roads acceptance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every other town. But Grafton, we did go get 10 citizens to sign,
Right.
for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I've talked to two people on that, the elderly housing, the Grafton housing, and neither of them know how they can do it. They're for it. They told me that, but
Right.
they don't know. They have to look into whether they can just do it, or does it have to go through the legislature, or.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my take of what the two people said to me, 2 different times, too.
Right.
It's a job for an attorney, I guess.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, Bill. So there's a state process for DHCD to approve any transfer of housing authority land that's deemed to be surplus. So the housing authority has to take a vote, then DHCD has to approve it. It sounds like that will be expedited here since this is a LIP project. DHCD is already involved in the project. They already know about it. So it shouldn't be that difficult, but there is a bureaucratic process that needs to be followed. There's no need for legislation. So there's multiple layers of approvals. You need the state DHCD approval, housing authority signs off. And then with respect to the road acceptance, you're right, Bill, it's basically the same process that we use for acceptance of public ways. This is a little bit unique because we're talking about a road realignment that's actually not in the project site. It's off-site, even though the purpose is to accommodate a private project. It's actually not on the project site. So there still needs to be a road layout plan, the road layout review by the planning board, and then town meeting approval for the layout.
Okay. That actually sounds like a second issue. I mean, there's a road layout issue that needs to be accepted, but then also the land itself transferring from the housing authority or whoever to the town. So it
Yeah,
could be
that
two
can be
things.
that can be a deed. The housing authority can convey a deed to the town after the town meeting vote. You have them vote
Yeah.
first to make sure it's approved, and then you have the deed, and then the deed gets recorded with that plan.
Yep.
We also talked about the possibility of, a deed and fee of, or an easement, and it seems like they both would serve the same function. It's just a matter of,
Yeah.
I don't know what someone's comfort level was. I think if I owned the land, I'd rather give an easement, wouldn't you, Peter, than deed the property over?
I can't imagine the town, usually you do an easement for a drainage line or a sewer line. Do they do them for roads, Jeff?
Yeah.
Dan says yes. If I've crossed the paths with something like that, it doesn't stick in my memory.
I mean, I know we do easements for sewer lines, water lines, stuff like that, drainage, but,
I think it serves the same purpose. If easement's there, it's there.
I mean, a deed is cleaner, I think, but.
And, well, you gotta satisfy all parties, really.
Yeah, so whatever the process is, you know, whatever is cleaner and whatever.
But they did take a formal vote, right?
Yes.
So the housing authority did take a formal vote to,
So we knew that they had done that when for the first rendition,
did
and
a
I think
second
you went back to them again.
Correct.
And they're still in support of the,
additional taking,
okay,
Oh,
because it's going,
going further into their,
quite a bit
and they're
closer.
still,
they're still good with it,
Correct,
you know.
and they took a vote on that.
just to keep talking about it, I take it.
Well, they voted, they did an official vote.
No, an official vote to support the realignment. That
Right,
was-
but you had no plan to show
Yes, we
that.
did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
so about that plan.
That's what Jeff was in.
So Jeff has it, I mean, I don't think we've seen it, right? Or-
no,
We had, I think it was a couple meetings ago, I think we showed you the,
I think the only thing we saw was Jeff's
rendition.
okay.
Jeff's
Yeah, I-
hand drawn.
Yeah, that's right, that's.
Oh, I was under the impression we had,
No, we didn't,
No,
right.
yep,
'Cause
I
we-
haven't gotten
and-
anything from you.
Where the
Okay.
pole was in the island.
yeah.
That's the one. With
Yeah.
handwritten, some red ink
Yeah,
and so forth.
yeah.
And the purpose of that was, I just tried to evaluate, is it even possible to do this,
Yeah.
or is this something that just jumps right out at us that it didn't work? And the answer was, well, there's pluses and minuses to it, just like there was anything. And John Grenier took the layout further and submitted to me a plan and a profile to go with it of the new leg coming down to Worcester Street. I didn't feel comfortable putting together a review letter on this yet, where it's traffic or transportation related. I felt it's probably appropriate that those folks, both for the board and for the applicant weigh in. But I'll share with you my review of it. Quite frankly, what it does is the existing grade on Snow Road comes down at about 8%. Then you get close to Worcester Street, it gets down around 7%, and then it comes in abrupt like that. And this newer plan, so the steepest grade, the two things to take away from that, the steepest grade is about 9%.
On the new plan.
On the old plan.
On
The
the old-
existing, the way it is, the steepest grade is about 9%, and the approach right into the Worcester Street travel area is about 7%.
Right.
The
And
new,
where it flattens out is Worcester Street.
that is correct. That is correct. The new plan proposes to use part of the existing Snow Road as for vehicles to turn off of Worcester Street, turn onto Snow Road. So that wouldn't change, and that would be just driving away from Worcester Street. On the new approach to Worcester Street, vehicles traveling along Snow Road from the southern Maxwell Drive intersection would get into a grade of about 9% for about 100 feet, so it's a little bit steeper. And then they would transition with a vertical curve where it's not as abrupt to a grade of 5%, so a couple percent less, as it comes into Worcester Street. So the minus, if you will, there's about a 1% increase in the maximum grade, but the pluses on this is that there's the area at the approach is called a leveling area. It's far from level, but it is less steep and less abrupt than what's into Worcester Street. I think those are two big pluses. The horizontal alignment is about 10% off of square, so it's much more improved from the 50 degrees. It's now 80 degrees. That's a huge improvement. And there's 2 lanes, but that was proposed either way, whether it's with the old alignment or the new alignment. I know that the town of Grafton does have a new ladder truck as of about a year or 2 ago, is that right? Okay, thank you. I don't have specific dimensions for that. I have what the fire department has shared online. But the older ladder truck, we went out in 2019 and measured that in one of the fire engines for wheelbase length, overall length, all the protrusions below, clearance and that sort of thing. And I've used that on a few projects in town here to look at vertical alignment. And my takeaway is the old ladder truck clears the approach fine. The new ladder truck, I've got the data here. I think it's a little bit longer, maybe slightly longer, slightly less than an overhang, but it's a little bit different than the other one, but not substantially different. I suspect that if the fire apparatus that uses Snow Road in that intersection now is not having a problem, the new approach, I don't think there's gonna be a problem with that either. These are the types of details I think we should vet out once we get past this bigger thing about whether or not the housing authority wants to even be involved, and that sounds like a plus, whether Mass DOT is even gonna permit this. And then things I don't even wanna talk about now is little tweaks to like catch basin locations or
Yeah.
adding gutter inlets and all that to deal with the drainage. I'm very interested in horizontal alignment, vertical alignment, whether this can happen, sight distances. Sight distances, I think, can be overcome by excavation. There's nothing else there that would be in the way. So I see that this is to the point now that the pluses and minuses of this can be vetted out with whomever's gonna approve something like this.
Yep. Okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
If I could just raise another point, maybe the elephant in the room was the issue of pedestrian connectivity, and I know we had talked about the ideal of being able to keep the sidewalk on the project side of Snow Road. I know the applicant has probably reached out to those 2 homeowners that are on that side of the street. I mean, is there any update on that? And is there any possibility of incorporating, using some of their land through an easement to basically keep that sidewalk on that side?
We reached out to the whole street, actually.
Yeah, we had,
All the way down to Christmas tree. Is that Christmas tree? That
Yeah.
First interstate.
yeah, so we had,
Mailers.
given notification to everybody on that side of the street, not just from us down to 122, but all the way to the other side to see if anybody was interested in having a conversation about having, there would need to be some encroachment for sidewalks. And till within the last day or so, and this was at least a few weeks ago.
More than a couple
More
weeks
than-
ago.
Yeah, we hadn't heard, to my knowledge, we haven't heard from anybody. And back to the connectivity, we had discussed on site, because when we were with Jeff and amongst our own groups and also with the housing authority, making sure that from the housing authority's driveway curb cuts, to make sure that those, the sidewalks, some of those don't have, they don't have ramps, they don't have handicap ramps, so any of those sidewalks on that side of the street, we would bring those up to code in terms of handicap ramps, et cetera, on that side for the connectivity.
Yeah, I think as this moves forward, first of all, thank you for doing the reach out. It's unfortunate that people haven't responded, but I'd like to try to somehow keep that open. Maybe if we get to the point of an approval and you get to the point of construction, and maybe the neighbors might get more engaged and realize that it might make sense to have a sidewalk going right through here, might be to my advantage, that sort of thing. So I'd like to somewhat keep that open.
Can the road be shifted just a few feet
Well, I think
towards the housing, towards the Grafton housing, so you didn't have to take land?
not practically.
I'm not sure.
Whoever.
Practically speaking, no, really. And those people, they have a nice retaining wall in front of their property, and we've never seen a person over there, so we don't think there's much activity over there. So
Okay.
it doesn't look hopeful.
But
I can't even picture what those houses.
there's two houses that have a
Yeah.
common driveway. And the one, if you're standing on Snow Road, looking towards them, the one on the right, they have, it's, I don't know, maybe 18 inches, 2 foot retaining wall, stone wall. That's right.
Along Snow Road?
Yes,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Bill right here.
Yeah, just not, okay.
That's just,
Thank
that's
you.
not, is that a retaining wall or just
Yeah.
a stone wall?
It's a
No,
retaining
it's a
wall.
little retaining
That-
wall.
Oh,
that's
so
that's
it's
the only
right to the
retaining
top.
wall within our, everything else is flat as could be once you get up there too.
I'm saying shift the whole road over a little bit, 3 or 4 feet, 2 feet, whatever, to make a 4-foot sidewalk and a curbing.
Yeah, that would also mean shifting the sidewalk that runs along the front of the housing authority.
I
property.
realize that,
Farther.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure how much right-of-way width there
And I
is.
suppose you run into potential now of shifting the road into the pole
Into the
that
pole.
we're going out of our way to,
Yeah.
to avoid.
Yeah.
I just hate to see if this got built, then there's a problem down the road and the town says, well, we gotta put a sidewalk in now on our dime and we're gonna have to take land by eminent domain.
I don't disagree with that.
I mean, I never thought I'd see the day we have 2 sidewalks on Millbury Street, so.
Yeah,
But we're not opposed, we'll stick with it,
Yeah.
and we'll reach out again, particularly for those two properties. And, I think there was one gentleman, he said he had some pine trees over there, he's looking for a couple pine trees taken down as well, so we have no problem reaching out and staying
Dan.
on top of it.
Dan put it up.
Oh,
I was about to and Dan asked, so I let him share.
Yeah, Bill, I just put the a street view on the screen.
Yep,
Is this
we
the
see it.
retaining wall that's referred to?
Yeah. And we're right at the bottom left, that's where the common driveway is, in the bottom left-hand corner. It's,
Yeah, this looks actually pretty flat, and this retaining wall is pretty small. So it seems
is.
like this seems like a good opportunity here to be able to, as Peter said, kind of shift Snow Road over by 3 or 4 feet. You'd have enough room to put a sidewalk, maybe not even touch the retaining wall.
nah, there's not. It's only a few feet, it's not that wide right there.
And the utility poles would certainly have to get moved over too.
Yeah.
Lots of utility poles.
I mean, there'd be
And
some
then the
grading
whole-
right here.
And then all the driveways for the housing authority with heading into. There you go. Yeah, see right there.
of the height.
It's right on it.
It's not as big as it looks from the other view.
well,
So
that'd be nice.
we'll stick with it and we'll reach out again.
Those,
Alright.
those are the kind of things that, when you're building a brand new subdivision and you got a cleared slate, that, yeah, you do all those things. But when we're working with
No, I
existing
know.
neighbors and poles and curbing, we have
Understood,
to make compromises.
understood. All right, anything else?
Yeah, there was.
I mean, we've got the Cliff Bomer review happening.
Yeah, we have that.
I think he's gotten everything he's asked for.
I think so, yeah. I gave them
So-
everything that they gave me the links for, so they have everything.
So procedurally, what we'd like to do is we'd like to get the feedback from Cliff. There was a couple of things with, we got the new fire truck radius, but these are all things that we can handle. I don't want to be giving one change, every week and have a new round. These are all things that we know, I call them, I dotting and T crossing, but we got his review will go through stuff with Cliff, and then we can wrap up all the loose ends on all the small minutia, for the final roundup, I'll call it.
It's all internal. We know we can do it. So it could be, either done all at the end, or it can be easily conditioned to.
Okay. Anyone on the board have anything they want to ask or discuss? I actually think this is going to end up being a very short meeting. I think that where I think we're headed here is we need to get the Cliff review. The board has been kind of clear on various things that we would like to see. we're kind of looking for professional input by way of somebody like Cliff, to either validate or help us with some of the things we've been asking for, so I think we need to get that input. So until then, we're kind of in a holding pattern, I believe. Anyone have anything else that they want to discuss?
Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, just wanted to circle back to one of the items from the LIP we had talked about a few meetings ago. I think we've kind of beat everything to death. The only one that we haven't really touched on much is the LIP included discussion of walking trails. And even in the layout that was in front of the select board at the time of the LIP, we were using pretty much the whole site. So, I don't think it was ever really envisioned that those walking trails would be like around the site, or just didn't know from your perspective, and I don't think any of us were involved in the negotiations for the LIP. What was envisioned for those walking trails, and is that something that's, is it just the sidewalks that are flowing through the property, or is there something else?
It's a combination of both. I mean, there's some people that they'll only walk on a sidewalk, and there's other people that welcome the opportunity to walk on something soft and something natural. So, we typically, because our residents want those, we want to incorporate those regardless of how, whether the town is mandating them out, we're gonna put them in anyways, even if you said, you didn't say anything. So we don't put no trespassing signs, so we'll get, residents can come in and walk through because it's a pretty safe environment. Where you have the curbing and you got separation, it's certainly safer than walking on an older town road without any barriers, so, we have extensive sidewalks within the property. We've got a lot of sidewalks. We have we purposely have a large green area in the middle, which, every time we make a change, we encroach that, and we have to, no, we don't wanna go into that green space, and even some of the road improvements, we have to kind of stand our ground, because that's valuable to us, that green space. A piece of green grass out there is very attractive looking, and so we have sidewalks crisscrossing through there, we've got sidewalks going all the way around. And if, we also have, we have to stay, we have some of the acres that we can't use either because of wetland or because of habitat. Can we put any walking paths through there, John?
We have behind as you're standing looking from Snow Road, the back right building, it's a little bit tight there because we want to restrict the encroachment over there, but we do have the ability to loop around the back of those buildings, kind of down towards the basin, and then, which would be off sidewalk, but we do have the ability, although it is a little bit, it's a little close to the buildings, to the back right building, but it's available. That's more of a judgment call on your part.
The dog park and the walking paths are two very, amenities that all our residents like to see. So we do try to incorporate those in there.
Yeah, no, I think, really it's just clarity on whether the current plans, and I didn't know if it was just kind of a reference to the general walkability of the site.
Yeah.
If that's what the select board kind of understood those walking trails to be when the LIP was signed off, or if they were expecting something else. Like I said, from the get-go, you've been using the whole site, so envisioning something that kind of wrapped around the site or something like that probably wasn't in the cards.
That wasn't something the selectmen specifically asked us to do, that was something we offered to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is one and the same, but.
Sure. Yep.
That's just how it played out.
That was it.
Thank you. Dan, do you have anything, that we should be, or you want to talk about, or you want to have us talk
No.
about? Or?
No, I agree. I think we need to get to Cliff's report. Cliff did tell me today that he is not available on August 28th, but he is available any other day that week or even the week before. So I think we need to get his report as soon as we can, then let Steve and his team review it and provide feedback, and then have a meeting to discuss those issues.
Did he indicate when he thinks he'll have the report?
I didn't ask him that.
Okay.
And we'd like to put out there if there's things he'd like to, as part of his evaluation and analysis, if he'd like to reach out to us, or we can reach out to him and talk to you with a few things if you have questions.
I would encourage that.
Okay, yeah.
I think the key is to get the get his report as soon as possible, distribute it to the board through email, what have you, get it to you guys as well. And, you know, I don't, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with communication between the engineers and,
Yeah.
you know, and then updates after that.
So what we'd like to do is maybe we could send an email out to him and just reach out and just say, as you're looking through your review and whatever, if there's anything you'd like to talk to us about or go through or have questions about, we'd at least keep the communication open.
Yeah, I think that's nothing but goodness.
Okay.
From his email, he said it'll take him several days to write his report. So I'm assuming maybe next week or so. he
Yeah,
might
so,
have it. I'll
yeah,
send him an
it should be
email.
soon. I would think so.
I'll send him an email in the morning.
That's fine.
So we'll send an email out maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep. All right, does anyone in the audience want to speak? Mr. Yeomans?
Thank you, Mr. Custer. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bill Yeomans from 297 Providence Road. And I just wanted to make a few comments and pour a little water that I'm accustomed to talking about on this project. And these are just my notes, which I have a copy for everyone in the room here tonight. When this hearing opened, I spoke to the issue of this is a large-scale multi-building project proposed for 14.6 acres lying within a 329-acre wellhead protection area, Zone 2. That wellhead protection area was created when many years ago when they brought those wells into play, and they were identified, that area was identified and delineated by hydrogeological modeling and approved by Mass DEP as a protected recharge aquifer for the Grafton Water District wells within it. For this reason alone, I asked the board, as a resident of Grafton, to deny this permit for this project for that reason alone, because I feel that the town has to protect the aquifers identified with recharging nearby wells of the Grafton Water District, which supplies thousands of residents with drinking water in the town. So that's my request, that for that reason alone, it should be denied. And if the applicant wants to take it and appeal that issue, if they have a right of appeal, then they should do so. But I feel that this project is subjecting the residents of Grafton to endangered water supply. And it's not a small thing. And it's going to be your decision, obviously. And I even came up, I said, if the board decides to approve with conditions, which is your prerogative, then I wanted the condition, I would ask for the condition that rainwater runoff from all apartment buildings and townhouses must be directed by connections to subsurface infiltration systems to allow the diverted rainwater to recharge directly into the porous soil, which is what they have just discovered with their dig holes, and they acknowledge that at the beginning. And if it's not rejected, then I think the board should condition it in such a way that the roof runoff is captured to the best possible extent because of the fact that it's a recharge aquifer, and it's been going on. And the comparison is, it's 5.63 football fields of new impervious surfaces that this project is going to generate. That lot has had a 1,200 square foot ranch house on it that's been the only impervious surface on that lot. Now all of a sudden, we're putting 5.63 football fields of water impervious surfaces in a wellhead protection zone, and I don't think that this should be built on that site. And that's all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say good night, and I'll leave a copy of my notes for each of you, and I wish you all a happy continuous summer.
Thank you, Mr. Yeomans. I do agree with, the idea that we want to capture as much runoff and, the roof runoff, et cetera, the way it's talked about. I know we're not at that point yet.
We are.
What's that?
We are doing that.
Okay, that's gonna be my expectation is, we go above and beyond, in areas like that.
Yep. And just to that point,
Thank
we are capturing the roof runoff from the buildings. We are, infiltrating that directly with our stormwater system. We are providing, additional, not just the minimum, in terms of water quality and treatment.
Above and beyond.
Pre-treatment before it goes into the infiltration basin. So, we aren't just doing the bare minimum of what DEP requires. We're going with additional steps, and that's part of what Jeff has reviewed.
Yep.
We have the space, we have the soil, we're actually doing that.
Oh, thanks.
There was somebody else who was saying, sir.
Hello, I'm Robert Brian Bonner, 21 Snow Road. I have a few questions to start with the
Mr.
board.
Bonner, where's your home in relation to the project?
I'm across the street
Across the street.
and about 4 or 5 houses down towards East Street.
Okay, thank you.
You know, the Hurleys, where the Hurleys used to live?
No,
Okay,
I do.
across the street.
Across the
of
street.
course he knows.
I'm in one of the new houses that McGill built.
Okay, yeah.
First of all, who's Cliff and what is he reviewing?
He's,
I just don't know the subject matter, that's all.
yeah, it's
The
just,
traffic?
it's more of an overall site review and,
Okay.
that sort of thing.
Okay. I just don't know all the players. I was curious what the obligation was from the town to the applicant, given that the selectmen signed or generated a LIP for this project? Do we have any obligation to the applicant?
Other than conducting this hearing in a fair and impartial manner, I don't think we have any obligation at all to the applicant.
And the same with the, declaring a safe harbor, does that involve us obligated to do something for the applicant?
It gives
Special-
this board more power, leverage in the process, but it's still the same process for this board, and it's still a 40B, we still go through that process, but it's a lot easier for us to deny if we wanted to. It's a lot easier for us to put conditions if we want to, is really what safe harbor means.
Because your hands aren't as bound as much with the,
Right, exactly.
okay. There was, a note in the planning department's, comments regarding a $30,000 donation to the town. I was wondering if that had been received by the town?
Thought it was 100,000.
I think it's 300,000.
Well,
$300,000.
the planning board should review these minutes.
Sounds like what you're
Do I hear four?
So,
So that would,
I think he's right.
is it $300,000?
off the top of my head, I don't know. You may be talking about the LIP agreement. And part of the LIP agreement was a payment to the town of some cash amount. I don't know off the top of my head what it is, but it doesn't matter right now. It wouldn't come into play unless the permit is granted and the buildings get built and certificates of occupancy are issued, I believe. So it's not something that would happen now. It would happen as part of building and finishing out the project, if that's what we're talking about. And I suspect we are.
Well, I was just reading the comments in the
I don't remember. It's been so long since I read those planning board comments. I don't remember what.
so there
what
was a
it is.
comma with 2 zeros, and I wasn't sure if they were missing another zero or not. So I said the lesser one of 30,000.
Yeah.
I mean, the town's not a charitable organization. That just sounds a little unusual to me to receive a donation
It's not.
from a project that
Yeah,
the
it's
town
not.
is evaluating.
It's not. It's part of the LIP process. We're actually getting money from the development on Pleasant Street and also the one on Upton Road, if those actually get built. It's I think the payment, it's kind of payment to help mitigate issues that arise because of the LIP. But it's not unusual, and I think Dan can speak to that. But Dan, I assume that that's somewhat common for LIP agreements to have some sort of a cash payment to the towns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what this purpose was, but it's very common for developers to provide a mitigation payment to offset the burden of a project. And it could be on public safety, the need for additional school teachers, the need for additional fire engine, and it's a common negotiation term when a town endorses a LIP project to have that kind of mitigation.
Okay. So I drove the area and counted the residential units from Worcester Street up Snow Road to East Street and all the side streets, Greenie Drive, Tracy Ann, Suzanne Terrace, Frankie Lane, Old Snow Road. And I counted in the order of 169 units in that whole area. And I just feel that given R20 zoning, I don't believe it's appropriate to put twice the units in that area that is in the current neighborhood. And it's twice plus 67 more units. It just seems like an inordinate amount of density that the neighborhood has to absorb. You're more than doubling the neighborhood in a small area. And don't believe it's compatible with the adjacent properties and other properties in the district. I've read a few of the comments that were posted. I know that the Affordable Housing Trust is in support of this. The planning department seemed to be in support of it. And they all reference numbers. So the numbers of units, new units, affordable, and they don't seem to take into account the impact to the neighborhood and to the people of the community. And I've seen a lot of people at these meetings from the community that come up opposed to this project. And I don't see a lot of departments or the housing trust discussing the pros and cons to the community for this new project. They talk about new housing, which is great, everyone wants new and affordable housing, but they don't seem to take into account the neighborhood and the impact to the residents there. So 35 years ago, when I bought my house on Snow Road, I did review the zoning map to ensure that there
that Snow property at the time, was not, zoned as a commercial, property, because I was concerned with a commercial building going in there, auto body, car dealership, something like that. I never imagined that they'd be putting in 236 units, in that property. And if I was aware of that at the time, I may have made a different decision to buy my house. I just don't think that the number of units is appropriate for that area. It's zoned for somewhere around 30. I would also contend that if you put 30 residential units there, you probably wouldn't have to reconfigure Snow Road at Worcester Street. I just think it's not a bad project. It's just too big. It's too tall. There are too many units, and it's going to concentrate too many people in too small a space. And all the people that are for it in this town don't live on Snow Road or adjacent roads to Snow Road. So finally, I'm a little concerned with every suggestion and request that the board makes of the applicant. They're all good suggestions and requests, but when the applicant comes back and addresses them, it gives the impression that you're going to approve this project to the residents. It probably gives the impression to the applicant that you're going to approve this project if they respond positively to your comments and suggestions. And I thought that the whole purpose of a 40B was to create new and affordable housing without the encumbrances of the town limiting the applicant. And it seems like because we've declared safe harbor that our hands aren't tied that way. So I'm concerned that you're going to approve this project, and the people that are approving it don't live there. The people that are going to come and rent and own these properties don't live there now. I would suggest that they probably don't even live in Grafton now. So I don't know what the benefit is to this community of Snow Road, and I think it's going to be a real detriment to it in the end. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Anyone else? Did I see someone else's hand? Yep.
Hello. Wendy Allen, 8 Frankie Lane, so behind, through the woods. I have a really random question. Why is this called 23 Snow Road when it's actually 14?
It was a typo on mine.
So it just stays that way?
No, I amended the agenda and everything else for 14.
Okay. Okay.
It's been revised.
Okay. Yeah, because we keep seeing 23, so
It's
everyone's
my
like, really
typo, because I just cut and paste and I keep forgetting to take the revised one.
Yeah,
But-
it's on the current agenda here, 23.
Oh,
That's why I just
what?
double-checked it.
I didn't print the revised one. The revised one's posted.
Okay.
That says 14.
It's commonly called 23, though. Like, that's why. Okay.
That's my, because when it first came in, it was first starting to be discussed, it was 23 and then 14, so.
Okay.
That's,
Totally random. Like, you do 1,000 things, so that's, I'm fine with that. Like, you're always into everything. Were we doing, like, architecture today? Like, seeing what was going to look like? Did I miss why we didn't do that?
Because the applicant didn't accept didn't sign the contract and approve the reviewer. And it's ultimately the applicant who's paying for it. But in the last week or so, the applicant did sign the contract, so the reviewer just got engaged within the last week, and that just wasn't enough time for him to do what he needed to do.
Okay, I caught, I think, a little bit of that, but didn't really understand. Okay, thank you. Okay, and then, so just a comment on the letters. Are you guys aware how the letters were sent out? They put them in the mailboxes. So that upset people because that's a violation of federal law. Like, one person even said, like, you know, as a family member of a postal worker, like that's part of the problem. It was put in the mailbox as like we see like junk mail or like people that do that. So it may help if it's mailed, because that already like kind of made people like really annoyed. Like now they're breaking a federal law. Like, so just as FYI, that might make a difference. I don't know if you mail it, but it also isn't like super clear that they definitely want them to reach out, like how it's worded, but I don't know how you word it. But that was just like my main thing, that maybe try like actually like certified mailing it so it looks important, or like just following the law. So that's it.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Anything else? Anyone else? Anyone online?
There's someone online, but he doesn't have his hand up.
Okay. At this point, then, I think we need to talk about a next meeting here. I can tell you that I am not available for the next 3 weeks. So we'd be looking at, I think, what is like the week of the 21st? Is that possible?
1, 2. The 14th. Well, you're not back till after the 14th.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, the week of the 21st.
I mean, actually, I could probably do the 14th remote.
I won't be here, but not that that matters to you guys.
How does the week of the 18th look for people? The 21st?
It's fine with me.
We don't know what Brian's status is, do we?
I could try texting him.
Who's got to go for it?
Let me text him.
Dan, you okay with the 21st?
I am, yeah.
Jeff?
Yes.
I think we just need to go for the 21st.
$7:00.
Yeah.
Bill, could I just ask a question about the road realignment plan?
Yeah.
So I don't think the board has it yet.
We don't.
Is the applicant going to commit to filing that with the board this week? And then does the board want to circulate that to the town departments to look at and provide comments to the board?
Yeah, that's an
Probably.
excellent idea. We definitely should do that.
Because fire and police are both gonna weigh heavily in on that, especially fire.
Yeah.
Because I know one of our old, because Flint Pond made changes and they were not happy with it, and they had to take out an island that they put in. So
Is that at the entrance?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I know that. I just do.
yeah, so so I would
Like
suggest,
you drive by, you can see there's obviously a missing island.
yeah, yeah.
My daughter's friend lives in there.
So I would get that to me so I can get both of
Sure.
them to take a look at it.
Okay.
And DPW and
Right.
Yeah. I had sent when I reached out to DPW, I'm going to send it out to everybody and I'll submit it formally, but
Correct.
I did send it to DPW too, just to have them take a look at it, but I'll send so you have everything officially.
All right, then I'd entertain a motion to continue case number 910 to August 21st at 7 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Mejia?
Yes.
Mr. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Langevin?
Yes.
Vice Chairman votes yes. All right,
Okay.
let's see the 21st.
Thank
Hold
you.
on.
Well,
Oh,
Continuation to
Please.
August 1st. I mean, to September 1st.
please.
Are you guys okay with signing it? You just
Alright,
wanna
next up,
sign
I
that
think,
and
is
sign that
minutes.
Or sign your name, or Steve can sign it, whoever.
May 22nd. And we'll just wait a second here for Katrina to get back at her post.
Yep, thank you. Okay, just
go, Katrina.
Thank you.
Let me know when you're ready, Katrina.
I'm ready.
So under, so we're on May 22nd minutes, under, public comments, what is S&S stormwater? What is S&S?
Stop and shop.
And shop.
Oh, Stop and Shop. All right, can
I
we
probably
please,
forgot to put that in between.
can we please spell that out?
Yes, I probably just, yeah. Sorry.
Okay. And then down like 3 paragraphs, there's an asterisk in the word discussion. I'm not sure what's going on with that sentence. I don't know if the asterisk is supposed to be there, maybe it's just supposed to be
It's not.
capital D.
It's supposed to be capital D.
Okay. Then a little bit further down in the bulleted list, under ZBA comments, I think density was misspelled.
Okay. Yep.
Sightlines, a few bullets down, should be all one word. And then further down under the CMPs, it says approve the submitted CMP for Upton Street. It should probably say 116 Upton Street. And then the next one should say 59 Pleasant Street. Thanks, Jeff.
Bye, Jeff. Good night.
It does. The reserve at Misco Hills, 116 Upton Street, and then the reserve at Pleasant.
No, the motion says
Oh,
approve the
okay.
submitted CMP for
Oh.
Upton Street. I think the
Okay.
motion.
Yeah. Got it. Sorry.
That's all I had. Anyone else have any?
You did a good job on that one.
There was a letter that looked bolded, but I don't know if that matters.
I'll double check them.
It's, yeah, on the front.
I've literally spent the last 2 days on trying to get minutes done for tonight.
There's a lot of them.
Katrina, under parking on the first page, I think the last sub bullet, I think should be 421 parking spaces. So we talk about the 397, which excludes 24.
Oh, the bottom one should say 4.
Yeah, I think that one should be 421.
Okay. Yep.
And then on the top of the second page, there's the third bullet is parking spaces 469. I don't know if we just want to say that's the total. We just want to caption
Okay.
469. And then under public comment, Jason Williams, the first time is listed as 16 Suzanne Terrace, the second time 15. I think 15 is correct.
Probably.
Anything else?
On June 12th, under case.
Whoa. We haven't got to
Oh,
that.
Not there
I
yet.
thought we were there. I'm sorry.
So, motion to accept,
sorry.
the meeting minutes of May 22nd, I think it was. of what
Yep.
killed,
May 22nd.
As amended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. We have nobody online, so we can do we don't have to do roll call. So all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Opposed? Wow. Motion carried. Next up is June 12th. So where we open case 910, Apartments at Snow Road. I think we should have a line in there. What I wrote was case reopened for purpose of scheduling only. No testimony was heard. I think that should be in the minutes, make it really clear that nothing was heard. And down, on the North Street. Yeah, on the North Street variance one. Just before we actually say the motion, I think there should be a line that says applicant requested a continuance. Because the applicant, I'm sure the applicant did
yes.
request a continuance.
And also in case 915, Dom Campos, is that?
Dwam. Yep,
Dom
that is
Campos?
his name.
Maybe a comma after 40 Lawndale Ave. Saugus, is that his? Where he's from? Okay. Got you.
and on that line, I just, so he's not the owner, so I didn't know if we wanted to say representative for or agent for.
Yeah, he.
Oh, that's right, he's the applicant,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Israel. Yep, okay.
And then, the motion for Nelson Park for the dugouts says for the construction of 6 dugouts, period. I would think we would have done that per Exhibit A or something.
You know what, we probably did, I'll double check the minutes.
I mean, we had
the
a,
video.
I think we had a map.
Yeah,
Yeah.
poor Skip had a heck of a time filing that, because the book and page the only book and page we can find that references that whole plot of land is Mr. Nelson's will. It's not a deed.
Oh,
So
wow.
the first person denied him. He had to come back and get something else. She goes back, and this woman goes, and you know Skip. He goes, "Well, let me just tell you about this." And the person at the registry goes, "Fine, we'll let it go."
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, they filed it. He's like, "That's all we have. We can't find." Skip spent a month going through the archives trying to find everything on that piece of property.
Wow.
The only thing we have a record of is the will. So, kind of crazy. Side note.
All right. Did I do the motion on that
Not yet.
All right, so motion to accept the meeting minutes of what was that?
6/12.
June 12th, as amended. Well, wait, did anyone else have anything? Nope. All right, so I'll entertain a motion to, accept the meeting minutes of June 12th, 2025 as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the motion carried.
Did North Street get appealed?
I don't know. I haven't gotten anything yet. I'm waiting.
Oh,
Yeah, because they did, yeah.
She
They
was
was gonna
all
appeal.
over me to
She
get
talked
that
to-
decision, and
All
I
right,
haven't heard anything.
meeting minutes of June 18th. So, all right, so I guess this is the first case. Yeah, under the North Street. So on the motion, the actual motion for North Street
Yes.
says for a 5-foot front yard setback from Bicknell Road, then as per the former granting, blah, blah, blah. I hope that wasn't in the motion. And I hope that wasn't what actually got put in the decision.
Yes, because that was the motion.
All that crap?
Yep.
All right. Then it looks like it is exhibit maybe, or maybe my comment here was just to spell out exhibit.
Exhibit
Oh,
A.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, at the top of case 19, it says the meeting turned over to Mr. McCusker. I think it might just be better to say something like chair turns the meeting over to Mr. McCusker.
Okay.
Maybe not important. And then, within the minutes themselves for 9:10, I'm pretty sure this was a meeting where I communicated, what I wrote here is Mr. McCusker communicated his desire to condition issuance of certificates of occupancies on completion of off-site traffic improvements. I'm pretty sure that's the meeting where I told him that, in my opinion, they can't get
Okay.
COs until. So that's the first sentence that I've added here, and I can send this to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
All right. And then the second sentence I added here was Mr. Adams thought improvements should be completed before building permits are issued. If I recall correctly, that was Peter's comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd like that. I think that's important
Okay.
because I think that may become a point of contention.
Okay.
So I think I'd like to make sure it's in the meeting minutes.
Sure. Yeah, just email me that.
I will. And that's the end of my comments. Any other comments for June 18th?
Katrina, under Jeff Walsh, the final bullet and sub-bullet, two entrances moves all the traffic away from the main entrance.
They're not all, just moves traffic.
Okay, and I didn't know if the reference to the main entrance might be a reference to the clubhouse instead, or, because if we move the entrances, there won't be an
No.
entrance there.
Just moves some of the traffic away from the main entrance, because his concern was at night, everybody coming in, picking up mail, dropping things off. It would get too congested. I actually rewatched the last two meetings because of stuff.
I'm good. The only other comment I had was the question I had with you earlier on the extension.
I emailed it to you. I don't know why I didn't post it, but I loaded it up while we were sitting here tonight.
All right, so any other motion to accept the meeting minutes of
June 18th.
June 18th as amended?
So moved.
Somebody say second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
Peter asleep.
Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Declare the motion carried. Katrina, what's your email address? I don't have it.
KOSH
K-O-S-H.
IVOS
K-O-S-H-I-V-O-S.
K.
Oh, there it is. Just popped up now. Okay, got it.
So we need to bring these back next.
Those, yes, those are for next week. But Mr. McCusker won't be here.
No, I'm gonna try. It'll be 9 a.m. in Sydney.
You're gonna be in Australia?
Yeah, I'm going back for 2 more weeks.
Oh, really?
I leave tomorrow morning.
For work?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Is that exciting?
No,
No?
Is your wife going with you at least?
no.
Oh, dang.
You'll be there for 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah.
My husband's from there.
Is it right?
I've been there a few times. It's great.
No,
gonna be
it's
Sydney?
getting to be too many times now.
Really? Sydney or
Sydney, yeah.
Sydney?
Right downtown, right at the Marriott at Circular K, and the
Wow.
place I'm working is right across the street.
Oh,
Circular Key, I say Circular K, it's Circular Key.
cool.
What's that flight?
Um,
What's the flight?
Very long. But
Very long.
They pay for us to go first class, baby.
ooh,
Wow,
nice.
nice.
With my husband, if
I
it's
wouldn't go
anything,
otherwise.
if it's anything over 5 hours, they get
First
first class.
Yeah, that's
I,
nice.
I was there
As
when
his-
they
at
were,
his
they were
level.
just building
The Opera House?
the opera house. Wasn't finished.
Really?
Yeah.
What were we there for? During,
R&R, Vietnam.
I was gonna say
R&R.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Very cool.
I need a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Holy shit.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Katrina can't second it.
I can't second it. I need somebody to second it. Alex did.
Motion made and seconded, discussion, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're done.
All right.